While social media can be a great thing, there is never a shortage of dumb posts being made on Twitter, and like I'm sure a lot of you know, when it comes to tabletop RPGs, a lot of the companies behind the games are super woke, and once companies start acting that way, it attracts that sort of customer. And over the past few days, a company named Evil Hat Productions has been roasted on social media for a bunch of really dumb posts they've made where they basically attacked potential customers and said, don't buy our products if you're not the type of customer that we want. So I have an article and a couple of tweets I want to read. But before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So let's start off with this article. It says Evil Hat Productions attempts combative marketing for new TTRPG, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, by declaring, if you don't like our politics, don't buy our games. This sounds like it would be a very spicy game, but it's not. It says, in what can only be described as a bizarre attempt to garner attention and a few extra sales, Evil Hat Productions recently chose to market their newly released tabletop RPG, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, by decrying an imagined group of critics and asserting, if you don't like our politics, don't buy our games. Well, luckily they saved us a bunch of money. I personally would not be interested in this product. It just isn't something I'd be interested in, and I'm sure a lot of you probably aren't interested in it as well, as we're going to read the description, which is definitely a lot to take in at once. It says, released on June 7th following a resoundingly successful Kickstarter campaign, which raised $298,000 across 8,152 backers from an initial goal of 20,000. Thirsty Sword Lesbians is described as a role-playing game for telling queer stories with friends. This actually had a pretty successful Kickstarter campaign. There are at least 8,000 people who were interested in this project. But it says, if you love angsty disaster lesbians with swords, you have come to the right place. Reads the game's description on Evil Hat Productions' official website, which also notes that one of the Thirsty Sword Lesbians' key features is that in this book you'll find flirting, sword fighting, and zingers in a system designed for both narrative drama and player safety. Now, we thought Mandy from I Am Not Starfire looked bad, but this looks like her in 15 years after a stunt with drugs. I mean, this character, at least in my opinion, doesn't look good. The art in this has no appeal to me whatsoever. But it says the Spooky Witch is the name of this character. They literally couldn't come up with anything better besides the Spooky Witch. And her examples are Spelldancer, Nerdy Alchemist, and Speaker for the Unseen. It says on the game's Kickstarter campaign page, the creator and Evil Hat Productions founder further explained, it is explicitly designed to tell melodramatic and queer stories, tales fraught with relationship triangles, mystery, intrigue, relationship anarchy, celebration, and revolution. To that end, the two also explicitly declared this game is not for fascists, TERFs, or other bigots. And as we're going to see under the post that they made on Twitter, they really do feel very strongly about people not buying this game because they literally tell people don't buy it. So let's head on over to the Twitter thread. They said there's no such thing as an apolitical game. This page from Thirsty Sword Lesbians sums up our stance quite nicely. Some of the most popular games are apolitical. I mean, seriously, what are the politics behind Pac-Man, Pong, Candy Crush. It would be a massive lie if they tried to say that there were politics behind these games. And some games do have political narratives behind them that they push, but not all of them are that way. They are just trying to make statements that are going to get people upset, so hopefully they can make a few extra sales. They also said, reminder, if you don't like our politics, don't buy our games. They saved me some money because I have no interest in this whatsoever. I'm glad they're telling me to save my money. It says, we literally don't want nor need your money. Well, clearly they need someone's money because they had to put out a Kickstarter to get this game off the ground. It also says the get woke, go broke mantra is pure bullshit. Well, I guess we're gonna have to see what happens with this project, because right now it is being ratioed into the ground. This whole entire tweet, this company's, all of their posts really are getting ratioed right now. This says 2,000 likes, but it has the same amount of comments. There are thousands of people who disagree with this post that they made. You really don't need to attack people who your game isn't for. By doing that, they think they're going to get more attention on their game and the group of people they want to sell it to. Just ignore the people who don't like your game instead of creating all of this negativity just to get more sales. It is a garbage way to do business. You look like a pathetic company by doing this. So they shared an image that says, no fascists or bigots allowed, and then they list, to play this game, you must, respect sex workers, disabled people, immigrants, lesbians, and other people with queer sexualities. They are acting like fascists and TERFs are normal people walking down the street that you see every day. Clearly, you all can tell the types of people they're marketing this game to, and unfortunately, a lot of TTRPG companies are woke now. Wizards of the Coast has even gone and changed rules in D&D to make it more with the times and inclusive. And even look at the TSR situation. They came back and said they were going to stay apolitical, and tons of people dogpiled them, and they even got uninvited from Gen Con. Companies wouldn't work with them anymore. I mean, it was a disaster. Even though people in this scene claim they want inclusivity, they don't seem to be very welcoming to people with opinions they don't like. It's actually pretty interesting because we can clearly see what they're doing. They're setting up for this no bigots allowed thing, and they're basically setting up for a disaster because if it doesn't sell, now they can say, oh, it didn't sell because of these awful, terrible people. And I actually wanted to read some of the comments because a lot of people really do not like this statement from them and do not like the way that they're acting. So somebody said, no such thing as an apolitical game. That's not true. There's plenty of games like Tetris, Pong, Pac-Man, Galaga, Space Invaders, Mario. You're just looking for an excuse to shoehorn in your politics. I 100% agree with this. People are giving tons of examples of games saying, how is this a game filled with politics? Somebody said, I must have missed the deeply political sentiments of Pac-Man or Angry Birds or Mario Kart or Ninja Gaiden. People continue to list off different games, sharing, GIFs of like Pong, Pac-Man, things like that. Somebody said, then I won't buy your product. I'm sure this stance is gonna go well for you. I think a lot of people are not gonna buy this game. Now, clearly they do have an initial audience. They did meet their Kickstarter goals. They had a pretty successful Kickstarter campaign. But at the same time, if you're just gonna insult people, you're not gonna gain much more of an audience. And again, I personally don't have any interest in this product. I would not purchase it. The art is awful. The descriptions of things are awful. The stances that they throw into this are awful, but at the same time, running around insulting people hoping to get more customers is only going to get you so far. People are also saying things like the get woke, go broke mantra is pure BS. Battlefield 5 would like a word. This sentence is proof you don't care about the fans and you single-handedly don't want a career. Don't worry, everyone will ignore you and support the people who actually give the fans the respect they deserve. Now, this next comment completely wins the comment section. Somebody said, or you could, respect all people, regardless of arbitrary qualifiers, just a thought. And it is so extremely true. This company is saying they are inclusive and they have the most inclusive game, yet they're excluding people based on things like political opinions because, of course, they're going around attacking people. I'm sure if you looked into the people behind this game, they probably have posts on their personal social media saying, I hate all white men. Wouldn't be that surprising, but this whole situation is hilarious, but also pathetic at the same time. It's hilarious. They thought this was going to earn them more customers and gain them more sales, and it's pathetic that a company is acting this way. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. But I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.